We provided an alternative that would take care of the immediate crisis. None of us want our roads to go unplowed. None of us want guardrails not to be fixed or pavement striping not to occur. There's not a single Republican that's interested in having any ODOT employee lose their job because of the legislature and the governor's failure to act in a responsible bipartisan manner. So what we did is we provided an alternative which would have freed up the existing resources within ODOT's budget to do what Oregon families do. What Oregon families do when times are tough, when there's way more demands on their dollar than there's dollars available, what do you do as a family? You prioritize what's most important. That's what families do, and that's what this legislature should do, and that's what the Republicans provided the opportunity to do today. Every single Democrat on that Senate floor said no. They said no to what families have to do every day, what families are doing today in a very difficult economy. The other alternative that the majority rejected just now is the opportunity to put this package, the transportation bill, House Bill 3991, in front of the voters. Let the voters decide. This legislature we could take that bill, amend it on the floor, put a referral on it, it goes to the voters. What is the governor and the Senate Democrats afraid of? I'll tell you what they're afraid of. They're afraid of Oregonians saying no to this massive tax increase. That's what they're afraid of. What the majority and the governor don't realize that it's highly likely that this measure it gets in front of the voters anyway. I'll speak for this Republican. I spent months at the negotiating table working and collaborating, trying to find common ground on a transportation bill that dealt with both the short-term needs and long-term needs in our Department of Transportation. We recognize that transportation is a core function of government. It is something that state government must do, but it must do it responsibly. We must be effective with Oregon taxpayers' dollars. What's on the floor today is a partisan bill. No reaching out across the aisle to ask, hey, Republicans, what do you need in order to get to yes? Those conversations have not occurred. I wish they did. I would tell you that the Republicans are willing to sit in a room and hammer this out. It's too important not to do that. And I believe ultimately that's where we'll end up. Because I believe ultimately Oregonians will say, we don't like partisanship, especially as it relates to our transportation dollars. I mean, there's not Democrat potholes out there, Republican potholes. That's not how this works.